In this video, I'll talk about some of the key things from our game against AmaZulu FC. As you can hear, guys, my voice is trying to go away, but I have to make this video. Now, when I first saw the starting 11, I saw good, okay, Udoli is not there. And there was nothing really surprising with the back four because as we saw also in the game, Uguti, Ukwinika noNgcobo are building a chemistry when they're getting better in communicating with each other. And because of that, you can see Uguti at the back, we are better organized. And I would also say Uguti, the inclusion of Kune into that starting 11 has definitely helped the team, has definitely helped the confidence ema defend any end because kwakhuluma lapha emuva and then masiyeswini ngeveluma to his back, which was good to see. And kuyi-10 I expected actually Udoli to be playing there because last week I think it was his better game, playing in midfield centrally. So I was expecting Guti that was going to happen, but then I didn't see that. I was like, okay, maybe I did say this yesterday, if you guys can remember. I did say Guti, it seems like Uzwane prefers Umatlo, and he was likely going to play him, and he did, and he kept Usehota because Usehota has been playing brilliantly for us. Maybe not brilliantly, but good, enough to keep him in the starting 11. He's been consistent with what we want him to do for us, winning us another penalty yet again, which we'll talk about later on. But what I want to talk about is that what I saw with Obiliat is that if played with Caleb, he will be a better player, because if he's playing onto our second balls, bekungcono than if he's the one who's receiving the ball and having to play the other people around him. But it just seems like the coach angamdlalisa behind Caleb, which I also don't think could be a good idea kule system esidlala, because we need 3 midfielders. So in that case, angamdlalisa behind Caleb if ukuthi sidlala formation like 4-4-2, which I don't think Chiefs will be playing anytime soon. So okay, what concerned me about igame yanamhlanje is the fact that we're not pressing. We're just not pressing AmaZulu. Kube nama episodes where, like, instance, Dupree almost scored this equally the same way he did last week, but it didn't happen. But then again, we saw good pressing can really help us, because you will notice Uguti, the teams that are like the big boys sort of this year, Abo Stellies, Cape Town City, Sundowns, Uzobona no Pirates, even or Mamkize, they start playing from the back. And because of that, kumele ubapresse labantu laba, and it's like bebazi ukuthi ngeke sibapress. So they were too comfortable. There was a point where bafake uStebi Mata, and then no one was doing anything to put the player under pressure, because we don't fuck Mata or relaxela, like nothing happened. And that concerns me. We're a big team. Akwazi ukuthi umuntu engathi away SFNB ezokwenza le nto le. That cannot be happening. We're a big team. And then of course there was a penalty, which Usehota is something that is good at, ukuthi asebenzise pace yakhe and take on defenders and run at them, and he did that well again. And I hear people saying, oh, the hand was in the natural position. Guys, this is 2022. Isandla sakho masila uzongitshela ukuthi yes, ku-natural ukuthi isandla sithi kanje, kodwa futhi ku-natural ukuthi isandla ngisithi kanje. So should uzongitshela ukuthi it's not a penalty if isandla ngisibekela. Yikho abadlali bebeka izandla ngemuva kweqolo, because they are trying to avoid ama-handballs, because they know ukuthi referees give those as penalties. So the argument ukuthi there wasn't a penalty, I don't know iqhamuka. Isandla, it was there. I don't care ukuthi ube close kangakanani, why yena ngasibekile isandla ngemuva? Because we know ukuthi as long as your hands are not tucked in like this, it's going to be a penalty. So players should do themselves favors and put their hands behind their backs. Otherwise, penalty all day. And Solomon just looked scared before he even took that pen. I don't know if I'm the only one who saw that, but he just looked very scared. And then he took the pen and then he missed. And I'm not going to berate him and say, hey, why Ngashayong Kami penalty? Because we've seen Kama missing a penalty. Even Otolo, we've seen him miss a penalty. Now the question is, if we get a pen in the next game, who is going to take the penalty? I don't know. It should be Solomon's, because apparently it's clear he is the chosen penalty taker for the Chiefs. So they should stick to him unless if you miss a pen, then we move on to the next penalty take. I don't know. So one good pens are done. But that would have been the only goal Ebeli corner. So unfortunately, we did not convert that. And we saw it debuted Caleb. And I just have to say this. When Caleb came in, we could have had AmaZulu, guys. If we're being honest, we could have had AmaZulu net defense up. We could have had them. We did not go out. We did not show intent. We wanted to head and play against AmaZulu and win that game. We didn't, because even when Caleb came in, they were struggling to deal with him. His height, his physical presence was just a problem that they were finding hard to deal with. Maybe even in their heads, they didn't think he was going to play. So when he came in, you saw and even the height came at the ball, and then to the players coming behind him, it was good. Udoli picked him. And then he almost scored, but then just missed by I don't know, it was close, but that understanding, they can work on it, and then kuzoba inking a combination. Now my question is, ngesikhathi kufaka uCaleb kukhishwa I'm talking about AmaSapu ke manje. Ngesikhathi kufaka uCaleb kukhishwa who's this guy? Kukhishwa uDupree. Ukama ubesahlalelene egroundini, because keep uDupree, faka uLokhunja, faka uCaleb. Thatha uCaleb uyomdlalisa as number 9 wethu, keep ukama, faka uDoli. And in fact, at the time, bekumele afake noNgcobo ayodlala as number 10. But Uzwane, for some reason, he delayed that sub. And that's another point. Uguti, how do you then keep abadlali abanjengoNgcobo to 10 minutes? Uyamrestrict. Mayisedlala in 10 minutes umbonile noma esengena. Umfana now is trying to make as much impact as he can esikhathini asiningi, and ubesefuna ukukhahlela kuvaliwe, because manje usefuna ukukora igol, because he knows ukuthi if he scores a goal, at least that will put him in the good books with the coach, because the coach is clearly preferring Umatlo over him, and I don't like that. And because you're supposed to be giving Abantu a chance. Because here's another point. It's me, maybe we want it differently. Uzongitshela kuma comments. Angimbonanga mina uMatlo, guys. Ngiqamba manga uDupree ubelovile until bemkhiphe. uMatlo angimbonanga game. Didn't. Eswini nje bekudlala uMathi no Step. Mina, that's what I saw. If umbonile uMatlo ukuthi wenzeni, ngitshele kuma comments ukuthi ngimbonile uMatlo wenzeni. Angimbonanga to a point ukuthi first half ngize ngakhohlwa, ngathi ngize ngambona bemfoul, ngathi awu khona uMatlo egroundini, because bengamboni ukuthi wenzani. uDoli, guys, edlala in that position last week, he would even drop as far as trying to collect the ball, but angimbonanga uMatlo wenza leyo nto. Now I'm not saying umfana wenkomo, but I'm saying I feel like Lovana alone has been given more chances than Umshini, and Umshini is not getting a chance. I know some of you will start saying I'm biased, but Umatlo was played and then got injured and then was out, and then he wasn't playing still. Ungobo belokhu efakwa kulabo 10 minutes. Ungobo is too much of a quality player ukuthi ungalokhu umhlalisa ebenchini, and after kumhlalisa kwakhe ebenchini uzomnikeza u10 minutes. It's the same thing esasicomplaina ngayo ngoBucks ukuthi unikeza oBlom noHadebe o10 minutes egroundini ngathi ugcina icala, and today uzwane naye ungiphathe kabi because he did the same thing ke manje with uKhama. No, Ngcobo. And most ubafaka labantu sebe under pressure because usufuna bayokwenza umehluko immediately. Why ungabanikeze at least 20 minutes? Because if Umatlo has played 70 minutes and has not created dangerous chances, then usezovele miraculously create something beautiful in the last 20 minutes kahluleka ukwenza ku 70 minutes ese fresh. Umdlali nje ideally kumele adlale i-hour if ukuthi akawenzile umehluko aphume 60, because uyadlala i-first half, you don't make a difference. You are given the second half of 15 minutes, and then if you're not making any changes kulo 15 minutes or second half, go out. And what you're doing, you're giving the other players enough time to make a difference, to adapt to the game, to catch ngathini ukuthi babe bangene kwi-tempo yegame ukuyibaba catch up, because mawufika umdlalo lapha angeke nawuvele uzungenile. You must get in the game and then start impacting the game. But mawunginikeza u10 minutes sekumele ngiskip i-step ungene egamini, sekumele ngibe straight to being an impact, and that usually works with players abane speed, abane pace. Mawuzoyenza leyo nto umuntu odlala eswing kwesinye isikhathi abanswing nje, so uzwana ngempela. I didn't like that. Nikeza uNgcobo enough time. Ngiyakhala ngiyakhala ngempela, ngazi mhlambe imngedo engikhalayo. We can't be making ama-subs late, that late ngempela. And then speaking of mentality, this is point number 9. Next video, post match, I'll make sure ukuthi I count ngithi point 1. Saying point 9 manje, but I never mentioned them one by one. Anyway, if you haven't subbed to this channel, please do subscribe. I will appreciate that a lot. Ngenze video ngevoice eshile. Anyway, next one. Okay, number 9 ukuthi I didn't get why bebene free kick AmaZulu legcina ishawe phekwe ipali. Abadlali beChiefs bebemosha isikhathi belokhu bemuva beyaphambili. I know there is a football language but word for that, but I won't say it because ngathi inhlamba, but trying to gain advantage for Chiefs. But to me, it wasted more time than it did any good, because ureferee besemele abahlehlise futhi, because everyone could see what they are moving. And for a team playing home, you are trying to get things done as quickly as possible. But when amawusabhizi usamove udo, ureferee akutshela ukuthi hlehle, uphinde umove, uzotshela ureferee again. We are trying to win a game here, gents. We're not trying to delay the game. We are not the ones who are here for a draw. We were there for a win. Sundowns lost last night and we're supposed to try and capitalize and get closer to those teams. No, we are not. We're wasting time. And okay, so ngikhulumile ngama-late subs. Khuluma ngoMatlo ukuthi if niphikisana nami ngitsheleni kuma-comments. And then uSekhotha has been good for us. But point number 11. But le ndaba yakhe yokufuna ukuhlezeka phambili nokuthi mayisedecide ikhanda lakhe ngathi akabesaliphakamisa. Mayisethola ibhola waliqhuba wathi usedecide ukuthi ngiyaqhuba leli bhola ngiyolikhahlela. Now you can call that being decisive, but also it can mean you are not looking around for options. For example, kune chance ayitholile wayigage, bekunomuntu was running furthest to his right, and as I said kwi-pre-match ukuthi the idea of playing umdlali kwi-side lakhe la strong akhona unyawo cut in ukuthi across ibhola and then libe i-outswinger, and mali outswinger, the players who are coming into the box can just tap the ball in. How would Kevin De Bruyne create so many chances for Manchester? Goes wide, he plays the ball, and then lingama outswinger, and then the strikers, midfielders, whoever. All you have to do is to just put your foot, control the ball lepalini. Unlike in swinger, ukuthi then kumele be trick ukwazi ukucontrola kahle iball. But uSekhothwa, he chose to shoot. And the second time where he had to pass iball to Caleb phezulu, he played a near post pass ekubeni bengadlali ibhola phezulu because Caleb une advantage ye height. Dlalela uCaleb ibhola ekhanda, musukudlala ibhola phansi kumuntu istrength sakho ukuthi ugood phezulu. Unswempu impela uSekhothwa has been doing good for us, but footballing intelligence kumele naye ikhombise, because we don't just need you to run and win us penalties kuphela, but if you can create chances and do more for us, that's how you win a scheme. Because njengamanje, if he's not convincing, uzobona sekudlaliswa abanye abafana lapha kwi-position yakhe. And in fact, it might just happen next game ukuthi kudlaliswa u-Ashley ngale kwa-left, kudlaliswa uDolly phakathi nendawo, or ngadlala uKhama ngale kwa-left, kudlala uPimenyimana phambili, and then sekudlala uDupree kwa-right, and then uDolly kwi-10. All of a sudden ususebhenchini, kanti this is the time to hold on to his scheme ngezandla zombili and win it. So guys, ngitsheleni ukuthi ngicabangeni about the game down in my comment section. Again, if you want to subscribe, please do that. I appreciate you a lot. I will see you on the next video, and until next time, remember, equals alphelo moya.